Good morning, good evening, whatever time it is where people are watching.
Morning.
Good evening.
Well, I guess most people will be evening. I think most of the viewers are usually in the US. So good evening. So welcome to the AMA. Should we give people a little bit of time to join in? I think maybe we give people, a couple minutes, 2-3 minutes to join, because I think a lot of people were waiting already. Apologies, I scheduled the time wrong. I know there were a lot of people asking why the schedule was 12 o'clock instead of 10. I just clicked the wrong number. That's why. I'm used to the old AMAs where it was midnight, so I just automatically did it and clicked 12 when I did it. So that's why. So apologies for that. But how's everyone doing? I think we can maybe just have how everyone's doing today from the team before we get started. While we give people time to come in.
Wait, are we live now?
Yeah, we're live. Yeah, we're live.
All right. Doing good, man. How you guys doing today?
Fantastic. It feels weird not to have Benji sitting beside me.
I was about to ask.
Yeah, like I finished the build quite late last night, so I didn't want to be late for the AMA, so joined for call.
Yeah, Benji usually gets stuck in traffic, or there's no taxis in rush hour and all this sort of stuff in the morning. So he ends up running and rushing into the office last minute half of the time because there's a traffic jam or something like that. So I think he didn't want to have the risk this week, so he stayed home for the AMA. Will come to the office after.
Yeah, so was it kind of at the limit, so I prefer to join from here.
Yeah, a lot of us were up late last night. We had our poker tournament, our first one. So I don't know if you want me to talk about that now or later on in my segment.
I think in your segment you can talk about it. I did see a lot of the poker tournament stuff going on in the chat though. So I saw someone won 100 billion Bezoge, I think, right?
Yes, I'll announce all of that later.
Awesome. Okay, I think at 10:10, well, in 1 minute, we'll just get started. Are we going to start off with Benji?
Sure.
Okay, I think. I think 10:09 it's almost 10:10. You want to just get started, Benji?
Yeah, sounds good.
Would you like graphical aids? Was there a specific graphical aid you would like on screen first?
I mean, I think one of the things you can show maybe the ones for the shader for the terrain.
Okay, yeah, here's the first one.
Yeah. So we've done some improvements on the shader for the ground on the game. So there's like a better mixing between the grass and the other textures. So it will mostly look a lot better if you don't have grass very far, like for low settings. And on Android, it's very important for us to have like the game looking good, even if there is not a lot of grass, because it takes some performance. So with this, we have a result that's a lot cleaner. Like for instance, this was a kind of an issue that a lot of people were reporting, is that there were like a overexposure of some parts of the ground with the previous one, and we've also improved the mixing of the textures. You can show maybe the next one. Also, like the way the normals are made, so like the way the geometry from the texture is rendered is already quite a lot better. Now with the new version of that shader, we've fixed it and improved it quite a bit. And so in game especially, it looks a lot better. It's maybe not always on the renders.
Benji, I don't know if it's just me, but you're breaking up for me.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he's breaking up for me as well.
Oh, I'll try.
Yeah, while Benji sorts his connection out, Black Wolf Tinting, that he makes a good point. If everyone can please make sure to give a thumbs up if you're on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, please retweet, share with as many people as you can. It makes a big difference.
Is it working now?
Yeah,
Or
as
still?
usual, Benji, it works perfectly until we actually start the stream, and then your connection just completely breaks. So.
Yeah, it's
Okay, on you go. On you go.
So yeah, so this looks. I mean, especially in games, it looks quite a bit better, and it allows us to have like more freedom to create like different kinds of landscapes and stuff. So that's very that's good progress, and that's important for like mobile, because we like there won't necessarily be a lot of grass on every devices, because it takes some performances. So with this we'll have a better render.
Yeah, it almost looks as if, just looking at the specific image, it's almost as if the left-hand side is low resolution and the right-hand side is high. That's
Yes.
the feeling that you get. Even though it's just that the details and of the texture are actually popping more, it makes it feel like one is low resolution and the other one's high resolution.
Yeah. Basically, like we changed like mostly two things. One is like the way the details are like rendered, like of the for like the reflections of the lights, and one is for the way basically there's a color that affects all the textures, and before it was affecting all textures equally, and now we changed that a bit so that the grass is more affected by it, and so it makes it blend much more nicely. So I think that's pretty cool. We have like some upgrades for like a few other things too, but like that's I think since the terrain is such a big part of the game, we wanted to make it look as good as possible.
Yeah, even the rocks are really popping now. It looks good. I think it's a big. I mean, it's a small change from a development side of things, but it makes a big difference in the game. Even the first one, the parts of the path that are overexposed, just fixing that makes it look significantly nicer, and then you can actually see the textures on the grass really popping out. In comparison to before, where they didn't really pop, right? There wasn't much contrast there.
Yeah. So that's and also that's a very good. Everything we can improve for these shaders and stuff. It's stuff that we can reuse for all the new maps. So that's very important. It means that like if we improve Bezogia, Bezogia, etc., like we have like 8 maps that are planned, and dungeons, etc. So that's I think that's a good step.
Benji.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a quick question. Can I also confirm that the upgrade has minimal effects on frame rates?
Oh, it won't affect frame rate at all. So there's no more there's like on the shader like this. It should be zero, basically.
Much more optimized.
Not zero, but negligible, I'd say. That's probably the best.
Yeah, it's very, very close to zero, because like there's not much more computation. It just mostly improvements. There's like a slightly more, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that much.
Okay, super. Thank you.
And actually, it should be better, because we don't need to compute as much like a real grass, like as much like a grass that is like mesh, and so we don't need as many. And this takes some performance, even though it's quite optimized. It still takes more performance than just the ground. So that means that we don't need the grass as much on lower end devices.
And we're quite a grass heavy game.
Exactly. Since
the
grass is everywhere in the game, so if we need it a bit less on some devices, then that's a
the main reason for fixing this is because in future one of the heaviest things on performance, it was a good question, Shahid, is the 3D animated grass. So when on mobile, if we can have the option at least to just completely turn it off, and that the game will still look really good. Like the grass will still pop and it will look really good even without the 3D grass. I think that's the goal here with improving that the shader, so that if someone's on a low end device, we can actually just allow them to completely turn off the 3D grass, and it'll
Yeah,
increase the
great
frame
work.
rate significantly.
Yeah, great work.
So that's the main reason for improving the grass. But I think all we really did was changed how much the detail map is affecting the, or which I can't remember which map it is, but one of the maps.
Yeah,
is
the color map.
affecting
Yeah.
the grass. So essentially, before we were doing exactly the same calculations with the shader. All we've done is tweak the opacities essentially to a certain extent.
But also, I'd say
To a certain
you've
extent, layman's term.
isolated a
Yeah.
lot of the effects to extremely narrow points within the map as opposed to across the whole map, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I believe
Yeah,
the way
so
that we
that-
do it is with different colors. I think some of the people that have seen Samuel do it on stream will know. When we create the texture for the entire terrain, there's different colors, and each one there's one map that is basically a color map that has. Correct me if I'm wrong, Benji, that map basically it allows Samuel to say, let's say it's yellow. He can say yellow is grass, and then he can say blue is rock or whatever it is. And using that, the shader will actually put in the right texture based on the color map. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're like kind of two of these. Like there's one, the splat map will tell which texture there is, and there's one that will affect the color of it. And that's one thing that we have that is kind of that you don't see in many games. Is we can have like gradients of grass color within like a place, and it usually looks very good, looks very cool. And right now, like this doesn't have to affect the rest of the ground underneath. Like so it just affects the grass itself. So we have quite a lot more freedom also to make more gradients, nicer effects on the grass itself that won't affect the ground under as much.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's a bit of an improvement. Also, there's like you can show the next video. Might not be the best
launchpad
quality,
video?
but we mentioned. Yeah. So that's kind of a new effect for the launchpads to make them pop a bit more in the game. I've also a new sound effect for it. I've not included it, but it sounds quite fun. And yeah, so that's for the launchpads. We have a bit more right now in the game, and we'll keep adding them. They are a lot of fun. I mean, it was a big thing for the Bezoge birthday party, and to have it into the game, I think it will also make it nicer to travel. So if people can see them well on the map, I think it's
It
pretty
certainly
useful.
feels more like a Bezogi box of tricks sort of thing now than it did before.
Yeah.
The sort of crackling is almost like a Bezogi fireworks. In a way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels like,
Yeah.
it feels very Bezogi now, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. They look cool. I mean, there might be some changes on it and etc., but like it's still I think it's still quite a bit better than what we had before.
And
We've
Benji,
also like
sorry, I was going to say you can still jump backwards on the launchpad, right?
yes. Yeah.
Good man.
Yeah, that was a kind of fun stuff. We'll see. We might change a few things to it in the future, but I think that was quite fun to do actually. To have the backboard jump.
No, the launchpads were one of those things that we made kind of as just a concept. One of those things we just did for fun for the party, so that people could get around faster. And that's why these sort of sprint exercises, we would maybe call them, like the anniversary party, can be really useful, because you create things just for those, and then they turn out to be features that people really like. I think one example of that, I think, is like the like button on Facebook. I believe that was just one of these sprint exercises. They randomly did it just for fun, basically, and then people ended up loving it, so they kept it. So I think a lot of these features can just come from exercises like that, where we just say, oh, we're going to do this thing very quickly in 1 week, this new version of the game, and then we add some cool functions in, and they end up being things that people really like. And the launchpads, for me, they were the most fun part of the party, running around and jumping on
Sure.
those launchpads.
Sure. I think that they are really cool to, and it's fun to go around on the map because the map is so huge that it makes it can be quite long to walk from one place to another. But with this, it's kind of a funny way to travel, and it's probably more interesting than, I mean, in the future, we probably add mounts and stuff, so that's something we're planning. But like, I feel like the launchpads, at least for now, they kind of can replace that a bit. So it makes it less urgent to have mounts and stuff like that.
So just to
Oh,
confirm,
mounts, I'm quite excited for mounts, though.
I was
I'm
going to
very
say in future I can mount an item. Obviously, I'm intrigued to see what that item will be that I can mount. Maybe it's the pets. I don't know.
So he's
Yeah,
got
yeah.
lots. I think that's why he's saying that.
Mount the bull.
Yeah, that would be fun. But like, yeah. There's I think there could be some. Yeah. Like there would be some mounts at some point, but like it's a relatively complex feature. So if we can have launchpads at first, I think we're good at least for beta.
So maybe a quick community suggestion would be have a longest ride on the bull, kind of internal mini game competition, where the bull will go crazy for maybe a duration of time, and it's how long you can stay on before you get knocked off. Nice little mini
Some
league.
kind of already.
Like
Oh,
bucking
no.
a bucking bronco, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That could be fun. That could be a fun mini game actually.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's for like the map. We've also have a pretty big update. I mean, we won't show it right now, but like we have a pretty big update for the Bezogi. So they look. I think they look much better. With the new way they look. I mean, it's still the same Bezogi. They kind of. But it's a big upgrade on them.
The main upgrade, I kind of shared a little bit of it on my Twitter. I gave a little bit of a tease, but I think the main thing you can see is we've changed the eyes and the nose. The nose on the tease that I gave is the old nose as well. We've updated the nose as well.
I would kind of describe it as the Bezogi's been working out for the last 5 or 6 months, and you're about to see the upgraded, rebuilt, much more stronger Bezogi collection. So yeah, it's really, really, really nice.
Yeah, they look a lot nicer. They're a lot nicer. They're in the white paper, which we're going to discuss very soon. They're in the white paper, so you'll be able to see them. We might drop them before that though. I know that there's some social media posts scheduled already. So I think it's before the white paper. So you'll see them before the white paper is released.
Yeah, it makes them look a lot better, and and also like the enemies, we're improving them to make them look more like, for instance, for the Doge, we kind of want to make them more like real Doge, like with the colors. So they won't have like all the colors on them, but the color will just affect parts of the, like will affect the armor or like the equipment and stuff like that. So they will really look like Doge, and when you come to the game, you will immediately see what's the meme, etc. So it will be, I think it will look nicer. Like we're kind of making the game look more consistent overall, and I think improving the Bezogis for that was part of it.
And Benji, it's not just aesthetic for the collection. It echoes into the game. It allows for the new model allows for much more maneuverability, just a lot more flexibility on animations within the game, right?
Yeah. Like the new models are like have better animations. I mean better bone structure, so the animations would look better on them.
Benji, I can actually share. I think I could share the Doge. I think that's something that I could
Sure.
stick on the screen.
So that's what I was gonna ask. Like, when would the holders be able to see their updated Bezogis on Opensea in their collections and their wallets? When do you think we'll be uploading that or changing that so it can reflect for the people who are holding NFTs?
Yeah, it should be relatively soon. Most likely in line with beta. That's one of the tasks that we'll have. I think for sure before beta we'll have the Bezogis updated. Sorry, someone just called me. I apologize. Let me put myself on do not disturb mode.
You never changed your ringtone from the day you got your phone.
It's ringing on my laptop. My phone is on silent, but it comes on my laptop as well. So the laptop is not on silent. Okay, let me share this Doge because maybe Benji can give a little bit of insight into this. Here's just a concept artwork. I believe this is almost finished though, but this is concept artwork at least.
Yeah. So it looks. I mean, it looks clearly like a small Doge, and I think in the game it would be really fun to have to fight like big enemies like that. They're like.
I think he's been on the juice too much.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah.
Been going to your gym, Steve.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
And so like some parts of it will have like a different color, like on his equipment, maybe like a few like details of his skin and stuff like that. But it will still look mostly like this when you see it in the game, and I think it will make it look more cool, more like a Doge. And also we're working on the animations for them, so in the future we will have like better animations for these type of enemies.
So
And
I'd kind of describe that gameplay as it's much more satisfying destroying a Doge in game, much more realistic.
That's the goal. That's the goal, for sure. And yeah, so that's for the enemies. We also had improved the sound ambience and the map a bit with like some better nature sound, this from the sea, the water, etc. We have new music for like one new for the neutral land, and we have a few new music for Bearish that AD made. And we also added like
Benji spotting the comment there.
Yeah, I'm for it too. But like, yeah.
I'm raising my hand on that one. I'm raising my hand on that one.
Yeah.
And all those in favor of Benji shaving his head completely if the beta is delayed, also raise your hand.
Okay. Okay.
I'll raise my hand for that one.
This is not a democracy. Okay. No way, sorry. But yeah. So that's for the sounds too. So we've also added like the Discord integration for the rich presence. So when you're playing the game, other people on Discord can see you. Later on, we might, once we have a friend system, we want to add also the possibility to join your friends from the game with through the Discord SDK. Yeah, so that will be that's something. Once we have like a full friend system party, etc., then we'll be able to do that. But now we already have the way to see like other players when they're in the game. You can see on which map, etc.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. We've worked on like also the magic, the new version of it. It will change quite a bit in the game. So there will be like one special ability per class, per type of Bezogi per breed. And They might have like different ones also in the future, but basically each breed will have its own spells, and there will be also spells or like special attacks linked to the weapons in the game. So it will make each weapon more different, more interesting, and that's something we're adding now into the game. So that's, I think that will be very interesting. That will make also the minting more interesting, because there are like some implications on how the weapon can be used, etc. Also, we've been working on a storyline. I mean, you guys will see it during the
white paper.
once we release the white paper. It's really cool. It's a lot of fun, but I think we'll let you guys discover it.
By the time we launch the white paper, we might have some more artwork in there, and we might also have chapter 3. I know we have chapter 1 and 2 in the white paper. We may have, by then, I think we'll have fully completed chapter 3. So maybe there'll be 3 chapters. The chapter 1 and 2 are very good so far. I don't know I think everyone here has read them. I think Carrie has read them. I can see her nodding her head. Maybe she can give a little bit of feedback on what she thinks of chapter 1 and 2.
Well, I'm excited. I can't wait till everyone else gets to read them, because from what I've seen of the white paper so far, it's definitely exciting. It's going to make a lot of people happy.
Yeah, I think so. It's every time I let me actually find, there's a very specific comment, because I give it to, there was some people that were proofreading it. I think the exact words, I can find it, but basically I'll find it in a second and I'll tell someone the exact quote, but it was really good. I think it was something about like goosebumps or something like that, is what they said to me specifically. But yeah, I think I can't find it. It's not that easy to find, but I'll find it later. But yeah, I think the storyline is one of the main things that we've been working on. I know that we've written, the game designers have written a whole load of lore. I think they've written, I don't know what you would call it, a few millennia of lore, I would guess you would call it. There's a whole really long timeline in a Google Doc that we have, and we're now working our way through the entire timeline. Basically, I think we're going to have 4 or 5 chapters by the time beta is launched, and that'll be what the quest system is based on. So basically, yeah, the team has been putting out a lot of content, and that's actually one of the things that takes the longest is writing this content and making sure it matches up as well, because it's one thing to have quests, but you want them to be consistent and all on the same timeline and storyline. So it was key that we had this whole timeline from the very start of the game up until the very end of the game, essentially, written out in advance, so that we could then create the lore from it and all the quests along that timeline as well. So I think, but so far it's really good. I've enjoyed reading I enjoy the weekly calls, going through the storyline and reading it. It's great. I get the copywriter. One of my requests is that he reads the storyline to me on the calls. We don't just sit and look at it in the Google Doc. I say to him every week he comes on, and I want him to read it with passion and read it because he wrote it. So I want him to read it like he wants people to hear it in their head, so that I can get the full story every week. And it's
very entertaining.
It's a great call. Shahid is on the call sometimes.
Very, very entertaining.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we could do that sometimes in the AMA. I don't know if the time is convenient for him, but like to have a reading of a...
We could record him.
Right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you record that? I would love to hear it.
It would be awesome, actually.
It reminds me of
personal narrator. You know,
it kind of sometimes it reminds me. I mean, the last session was, I don't know if anyone has seen that quite iconic video of The Greatest Showman. So in The Greatest Showman, when they recorded the song, and what was the main actor called again? I can't remember his name. The Wolverine guy. I can't remember his name.
Jeff Bezos.
It's not, well, let's just call him Jeff Bezos. I don't know why I can't remember his name. But he gets up and he sings, and he wasn't meant to sing because he had cancer in his nose. And then everyone starts like crying in the video. It sort of reminds me of that behind the scenes when we're all sitting here, like really, everyone has got like goosebumps on their skin, and everyone is really enjoying hearing these stories from the copywriter. So it reminds me of that. Of course, it's not to that extent because that's a very emotional video. I don't know if anyone has seen that video, but yeah. Oh, it's Hugh Jackson, I think it is. It's his name. Yeah. So Hugh Jackman, actually, I think it is.
I think it's great lore, and that's what brings great engagement from the gameplay itself. The storyline is gonna be very engaging for players to kind of follow through into the quests.
Yeah, exactly, and we managed to really tie the storyline into crypto without it being too crypto. I think for non-crypto people, they'll understand it, but there's a lot of Easter eggs within the lore that relate back to crypto itself, and especially some very specific details like names of documents in the. I'm not going to give away too much, but names of things within the lore itself. For those that are really into crypto, like early crypto people, they'll maybe spot them, but for most people, they won't spot them. So there's a lot of Easter eggs to spot. Okay, should we move on to who should we move on to next? Or we go, Shahid, do you have marketing updates to give this week?
Just a few updates that I was working on, the technical back-end side of things, some of the email integration, getting the user journeys integrated onto site. So the navigation component in the footer, there'll no longer be a coming soon. You should be able to subscribe very, very soon. That's currently been QA'd. Everything's technically working fine, so we should release that in the coming days. And then just helping with coordination on white paper.
Yeah. I think that's the main thing that people want to hear about this week. There's is when white paper. Okay, so short and snappy from Shahid this week. I think a lot of the stuff that's going on is behind the scenes now. We do have one thing I would say for the marketing. There's a whole new system being put in place within the company itself. So I would expect that within the next, for the last week or two and the next week or two, there'll probably be actually a little bit of a slowdown of one, maybe not a week or two. I think from next month, there'll be a bit more increased content and some new variants of content coming out. But the last few weeks have been a little bit slower because we're actually putting a full content system with Malcolm and new team member Farwa. I think there should be a lot more content coming out, but what we've actually been working on this month has been the processes internally so that we can create content more efficiently. And it allows us to test more content and create more content in the future. So I'm pretty confident that over the next few months, you'll begin to see a lot more content coming out on all channels, and everything should be a bit more structured. So I'm quite excited to see what happens. Next month, there should be more. So you've got that to look forward to as a community member. You should see a lot. There's a lot scheduled. I can already see the content calendar, and there's a lot of content already scheduled and created. So next month, there should be a lot. Okay, do we want to, I guess, will I go last, Carrie? I guess I could go last because I'm going to talk about the white paper. That's the main thing for me. But I think, Carrie, you can maybe do community updates first.
Yeah, I have a couple things. And then also Ernesto had messaged me and said he and Daphne are ready to give a quick update on the Academy. So I can go ahead and do my little quick thing.
Then they want to come on?
In. Yes, Ernesto wants to come on. I told him we can bring him on. And now he wants the white paper. But I told him I can bring
I'll send
on.
Ernesto, I'll DM you now.
But I told him I'd bring him on before I got into any community questions. So
let's get Ernesto on.
Going on.
I think everyone here knows we're about to graduate our first class in the academy, so it's exciting times. For those who don't know what the academy was or is, basically the academy has been on a program where in the local internet cafes we're booking out spaces for children from public schools, and we're teaching them basic literacy in computer science, information technology. Then the coursework moves on to teaching them about blockchain technology and play to earn games. So all these children that have been attending every single week, yeah, they receive a lot of cool goodies from Ernesto. But as well as we're actually going to be graduating our first class. And I think we also have some graduation, and I don't want to take too much away from Ernesto, but we do have some cool surprises planned for the students. The ones that showed the best progress or did the best on their exams, they're going to be getting something cool as well. But I don't want to take too much away from Ernesto. Are we bringing him up?
Yeah, I've sent him the link. I just told him to join. I think he was waiting for me to give the all clear to join, so he'll join in a second.
Okay.
I would maybe continue with the community stuff, and we'll come back to Ernesto once he comes on.
Okay. So we had our first
coming.
poker
There you go.
tournament last night in Discord. It lasted about 3 hours. So I apologize to those that it was a slow game because I am not familiar with poker, never really played, and didn't realize I can adjust the blinds from within the game because everyone was betting so conservatively. And so anyway, it was fun, and Dazzle ended up winning the whole thing. It was down to Dazzle and Steven. It was like a head-to-head. It was kind of fun to watch the last two just back and forth. And so, yeah, it was entertaining. So Dazzle won it. And I have the Twitter picker ready to go for the Twitter giveaway. Let me share my screen here.
Okay, 1 second. Daphne is here, by the way. Daphne and Ernesto are here.
Okay.
I'll bring them on. I'll bring you on I'll bring you on, but if you can chat after Carrie's finished her piece, there you go. I'll make everyone a bit bigger as well so we can see everyone. There we go.
So you want me to go ahead and do the Twitter picker giveaway?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, let me share my screen. All right, can everyone see my screen?
We can indeed.
Okay, so I already have the tweet loaded in. Must follow Bezoge. Ads all over the place. All right, so those are the entries.
How many entries do we have this week?
So there was 159 entries.
Okay.
And I have a lot of ads. Okay. Begin draw. Okay, looks like Chris at Chris365283332.
So congratulations to Chris.
Yes, congratulations to Chris.
Okay, so we'll get in touch, and I think Carrie loves her safety, so I guess
Yes.
it will be the main account that would always get in touch. We would never get in touch personally. So look out for a DM from the Bezoge official account, and yeah, and we'll never ask you for any private keys. We'll never ask you for anything like that. It will only be for specifically your public address so that we can make a transfer to you.
Congratulations, Chris. Usually you'd see me on video jumping around, but it's 6 o'clock in the morning, so excuse me on that one.
All right, so Ernesto, Daphne, I guess if you guys want to give us your update real quick.
Yes, hello. For our update, we just finished our 12th session last week, and it's been a really exciting process so far with the students. I can see that they're really engaging with the topics that we've been teaching them, and I'm also grateful for everyone who's decided to join us during our previous sessions. And yeah, and next month we have our last 3 sessions with the first batch, and we'll be wrapping everything up on the 22nd. And I would really appreciate it if maybe some of our members would like to come on and like give the students like an empowering message. And yeah, like we're just really excited to be wrapping up the first batch and then continuing on with the second one. Ernesto, would you like to say anything?
Can you say about the prices for the top 3
Oh yeah. So
students?
for the students, we've decided to give away some prizes because they've been all working so hard for it. So the top student gets a cash prize of 10,000, right? And the second prize is
Pesos, right? It's 10,000 pesos, right?
1,000 pesos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
$200.
And the third prize is
3,000.
3,000 pesos. So yeah, that's everything, I think, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's everything with Bezoge Academy. Thank you so much.
That's really cool. What we're trying to do as well is we're going to be trying to integrate the academy and charity announcements into our social media as well, because mostly a lot of the announcement updates come from Ernesto. So that way, like Daphne said, that the holders and all the people in the Bezogi ecosystem can actually go in during some of these classes if they want to share any messages or even just watch the sessions while they're going on live. So yeah, do join us, guys. Do join us in those sessions. It's kind of cool, and you get to learn a lot yourself actually as well. So Daphne is usually playing out a lot of great informational videos about blockchain, about the technology, how it works, how gaming play to earn is getting adopted. So yeah, just wanted to add on to that. Thank you, Daphne. By the way, thank you guys for coming on.
And someone that also doesn't get a shout out very often, I believe, Ernesto, is your wife that is on the left-hand side, right?
It's Corazon.
Yeah, she's here as well.
Yeah, and
She's gonna-
she's also always helping with everything. So a big shout out to you as well for everything you're doing for the academy and all the charity work that you're doing. It's incredible. I think you don't get a shout out very often. It's always Ernesto and Daphne that are getting the shout outs. But, yeah, I think you deserve a shout out.
She's very shy.
Yeah, she doesn't really like to talk much.
Yeah, that's right.
Active with the charity and with the academy, and I really appreciate her efforts as well.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Yeah. Okay.
So I just a quick question for you guys. Are all of your sessions recorded? So we can maybe post those, maybe we can find a special place on the website or YouTube to have those videos. Have you guys been recording all of them?
We haven't been recording for this first batch, but maybe for the second batch we can start recording.
We could maybe live stream. I think live stream would be the best way to record. But recording and then uploading it later would be a bit of a pain because it's always difficult to upload such a large
Right.
video. If it's how long are the sessions?
Usually we last for about 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, so uploading 2 to 3 hour videos would be huge. So I think if we were to do some sort of live stream, maybe, and we could, the way it would be automatically recorded on YouTube. We could maybe do a side channel or a section of our channel specifically for the academy, so that all the content is in one place. Maybe for the next batch, we can do that.
Yes, that would be great.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for coming in and giving us that update.
Thank you.
And great
Well-
work, by the way, guys. Great work.
guys.
Yes, you guys are doing so much, with the academy and the charity. The entire community is supporting you, and I couldn't do everything that you guys are doing. I don't have the patience for it. I'm a patient person, but my patience is directed in different ways. But anyway, so bless you all.
Thank you, Ken.
So I don't have a bunch of questions this week. Everyone, their biggest questions are about, the white paper and if we have dates for beta So do you want to go ahead and get into the white paper then?
Yeah, I guess I can. So I guess a lot of people were maybe expecting that we drop it today on today's AMA. That is not the case. The white paper is 100% finished. It is already being shared with some institutional investors as part of the fundraising for the magical blocks. But the public release will be not tomorrow, but the Tuesday after. I believe the date is there a specific date? Let me get the exact date on.
It is,
July
yeah, it is
The 5th
planned
of
for
July.
Tuesday, I think.
It will be released on the 5th of July. So there'll be a page within the website to view it, and it will be all on the website.
Yeah, there'll be announcements as well. You guys can expect to see a bit of marketing pushed out on that as well.
I have one more thing that I want to mention. So I don't know if everyone has seen it yet or not, but what Sir Swifty did when he helped Yappy with the Ferrari, the wrap and the rally, that was amazing to watch that footage of that Sir Swifty had put together for his live stream YouTube.
Yeah, I mean that was incredible. The content that was on there. I think a lot of people watched and saw the Ferrari, right? People loved Yappy's Ferrari wrap for the rally he's doing. I've seen that in the works for a long time. It's because the graphics on it are the old game as well. It's the old map and some of the non-updated characters. But it'll be nice to see. I spoke to Yappy about it, and he said next year he'll do the fully updated graphics with the new map and all the new characters and everything like that.
He's running a 458, right? 458 Italia.
No, it's not a 458. I think
Is it
it's
not?
no, it's SF70. I think.
Ah,
If I didn't get that, I think I got that right. I think it's an SF70. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it's the new SF70.
nice.
I'm sure the community can let us know.
It's a really nice car, and that wrap is like really slick. Actually, I like how it has QR codes around it. So like, while it's just driving around, people are probably wondering what's this all about, and like scanning our QR code.
Yeah.
I like the pets, like on the side mirrors. There's a different pet on each one. That's one thing that popped out to me when I was looking at it.
Yeah, the pets. But yeah, back to white paper. I think some people have been saying about my Twitter account. I do think I might drop some snippets. You never know. I might drop a few little leaks of some equations. Maybe a little bit of a hint of things that you can see within the white paper over the next week before it actually launches next Tuesday. So do follow my personal account. I think I've been growing a lot of followers. I know a lot of the community.
Look at this guy; he's such a sucker for followers now.
Yeah, I feel cheap asking for people to follow my account on here. But if my Twitter at @sdmurray MURRAY, feel free to follow, and I might drop a few leaks and snippets of what's in the white paper in the lead up to it actually launching. So if you want to see that sort of content, then follow my account, and I'll drop some stuff on there. Maybe I'm not going to confirm, but maybe.
Just to let everyone know, I'm Steve's personal brand manager. So since he's becoming the CZ of blockchain gaming, any inquiries, just DM me. I'll let you know of his availability. What slots he has this year. If you want to set up an event or a show, we'll try to squeeze you in.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, everyone follow Steve and turn those notifications on. That way you'll be alerted whenever he does tweet.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so Kara, do you want to go on with the questions?
So real quick, I hope everyone has hit that like button on our live stream so we can get those numbers up. And honestly, yeah, again, I don't have, let me double check. I had some saved in Discord, but most of the questions have been over and over about that white paper. So,
Yeah,
okay.
there was a lot of. Here we go. There's a nice. There we go. That's even better. Basically, I think there was a lot of work on it last week to finalize it, get a lot of additional graphics in there to make it look nicer. I know me and Benji worked a lot on Benji specifically. I mean, I just gave him the tasks. He did them. A lot of simulations to make sure, he's been working on these simulations, but we made a lot of graphics for the simulations so that people can actually see what's going on. I think one thing that we've tried to do here with this white paper that a lot of people don't do nowadays is in my head, I mean, I've been being in crypto since kind of the early days, and I remember looking at white papers, and they were actually full scientific documents. They weren't just a quick Git book that says what someone's game is and just goes through some of the game mechanics. I think in my head, a white paper is a document that should be solving a problem. And so what we've actually tried to do with this document is look at the problems within the play-to-earn gaming economy and find solutions to it and creative solutions to it, and then run simulations on those solutions and make sure that they actually work and sort of prove our theory within the white paper itself. So we got a little bit more scientific within the white paper, and I think that as it evolves, we will continue to find more solutions to problems within the game itself and within the play-to-earn economy, and then put it into the white paper. So it'll be an evolving document that is constantly trying to solve all the problems that we come across. And we also want to kind of show how we solve those problems directly in the white paper. We don't want to keep it as secret proprietary technology. We're quite open about sharing this with the community and other blockchain projects as a whole, because if we can solve these problems and make play-to-earn gaming more popular, I think the whole industry will boom together. And if we can be one of the people that's supporting that, I think that's something we'd like to do, rather than just solve the problem but keep it to ourselves. I think that's not really that beneficial for the industry as a whole. And at the moment, the play-to-earn industry has a lot of issues, especially with the sustainability of the tokens. Because of course, if you're earning tokens in a game, there's a huge sustainability issue because people just want to sell those tokens. You can kind of see that with a few play-to-earn games that are already launched and people are earning a lot of money. They just tend to sell the tokens. So coming up with solutions to that is what we've tried to do. And I think we'll continue to do that in the future, because there's going to be more problems that we come across. And I'm fairly confident that as a team, we can come up with solutions. And then we'll put them into the white paper for the world to see. And I think that's what a white paper should be. And white papers of crypto projects kind of turned into just a document that says how many tokens are in the pre-sale, and then says we're creating this product, but they don't actually solve a problem and prove the theory of how they solve that problem. So that's what we've tried to do, and I think we've done it quite well. I'm a bit biased, of course, but the few people that have proofread it and and checked it are quite. They've been blown away so far. So hopefully everyone will be blown away next Tuesday. I'm excited for people to see it. I basically couldn't sleep last week because I was working on it so much.
I think
And
you're downplaying it, Steve.
I kept sharing it to all the proofreaders, saying, "Hey, have you read this section? We've added this? Have you seen this?" I was quite excited about it, so I'm excited to share it with everyone.
I think you're downplaying it, Steve.
Yes, that's the
I
day
think-
after my birthday, so that's a great birthday present. I
Oh,
can't
your
wait.
birthday is the 4th of
Yeah.
July?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
so-
I would describe reading that white paper as satisfying completely different segments, whether you're in crypto, not in crypto, you love maths, you love equations, you love data, you love modeling, simulation, algorithms. There's kind of a piece of content fitting the game, solving a solution, really satisfying a lot of different, I'd say, personalities and people with interests. And yeah, it's great material.
Exactly.
Yes. All right. Couple questions. Got SJC wanting to know if we plan on sponsoring any sporting events this winter. He likes seeing our logo out there. So, is there any plans to do any sporting events?
Sporting events. I mean, to sponsor sporting events or to.
I
What do we mean
guess
by-
maybe if he's talking to like how we did with the boxing event where our logo was everywhere. He didn't specify. He just said any sporting events this winter.
We have looked into. We are sponsoring quite a few caddies within the European Tour. We also sponsor one European Tour player. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. There's a lot of people that we sponsored within the European Tour, but we are sponsoring a player in the European Tour and a lot of the caddies. I think it's about 10 caddies within the European Tour. Within the US itself, with sport, we have Warren Sapp that is an ambassador of the project. So we are reasonably heavy into sport, but I think this question is more about events, and maybe we could have some Bezoge sporting events like for community.
There is on the desk with the marketing some proposals on display in the Premier League, which is a football event, or like the Americans like to call it, soccer. So we are considering, but specifically any events for the winter as of yet it's not finalized. We're more focused when it comes to events on in real life events with conferences, because there'll be a lot of conferences taking place. So in different parts of the world, whether it's Dubai or the United States. So that's more under consideration from an events point of view or perspective.
Yeah.
So about the white paper, it was so downplayed. I just wanted to kind of mention one thing that people would be able to see, like Steve mentioned, when it comes to sustainable in-game economies. They'd be able to see the team and its attempt at actually formulating a way to sustain tens and hundreds of thousands of players in a game, in the game economy itself, while everyone is earning, as well as the players who are more progressed are starting to earn more and more. So people will actually be able to see the logic behind that, the science behind that, like Steve calls it, the logic behind it as well. So, yep, that was my notes on the white paper.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just tweeting. That's why I'm distracted. I got a lot of followers to please.
I got Carrie. She's like, I don't mind if Zach keeps going.
No, keep going. Let Steve stay distracted with his Twitter account.
Exactly.
You keep talking about the white paper.
Well,
No,
I
I
think
think that's the whole point of the white paper. We're genuinely trying to contribute to the play to earn and the blockchain gaming industry. I think that's what we're really trying to do here, and solve these big problems, because it is a problem. And if no one solves it, then the whole industry could go down, because people will lose their faith in the industry as a whole. If every project just seems to go up in price as the player growth is there, and then as soon as the player growth begins to stop, the token price just goes down. I think it sets a bad precedent for the entire industry as a whole, because that's what people will just assume. That's just what people will assume is the norm for a play to earn game and a token. So they'll just assume that, every new token is going to go up in price and then just crash because everyone's going to be selling it. So if we can contribute to the industry as a whole and actually solve this problem, I think it improves the whole industry. So that's what we've tried to do. And like Zach said, it's more about being sustainable and creating a demand for the token and demand for other things in the game that allow people to earn from the game in a different way, not necessarily by just receiving X amount of dollars per day. Like for example, you would do on Axie Infinity, you just go in and you get a sort of set amount maximum per day. And so you just go in, you complete your gameplay for the day, and then you're done. I think we've tried to create something that's more engaging, that can actually apply to regular games. It allows you to play the game in a way that you would play a game. I don't know how to explain this better, but maybe Benji can. Because it allows people to play an MMORPG just like a regular MMORPG, and it's fun. And the earning aspect of it is just sort of a benefit. It's not, you don't play it to earn, you just play the game and you happen to be earning. And the more you progress within the game, the more you can earn. And that's obviously something that's going to encourage people to keep playing. But the main reason that people should be playing the game is because the game is fun. It shouldn't be because you're getting paid to do it. At least in my opinion, and that's sort of what we're trying to achieve with the game. Maybe Benji can.
Sure. I mean, I think that what we wanted is to have something where people, to incentivize people to play the game in a way that is fun, and so not just like not just doing repetitive stuff. Because in the end of the day, if you're just working when you're playing the game, then it's not really a play to earn, because it's kind of work to earn. So the goal is to have something where you play, you have fun, and you make some money. It depends on your actions in the game, how good you are. It creates some challenge. It makes like things in the game have value. So I think it's very interesting, even just from the gaming perspective, to have value into the game. And yeah, so I think we have a system that is sustainable. I mean, of course, there will be things we'll need to see how it happens, because we kind of, like everyone, we're discovering it as it's kind of being invented. So, but we've tested it a lot, and yeah.
I think one of the main things is this is such a new industry, and so all of these problems, people don't necessarily, it didn't necessarily happen on purpose, but projects like Axie get so popular so quickly, and they didn't plan for that. I don't think they planned for the project going so crazy in such a short period of time, and then trying to change your tokenomics as these things happen are really tough. So I think there will be more and more projects, and yeah, people might fail, we might fail, people might fail, but I think as the industry will evolve as a whole, and every time we fail, we can improve it. So even if what we've done, we've put together what we believe is the solution for this problem. We'll test it, and if it's not working as good as we expect, we'll tweak it and we'll improve it as we go. I think it's an ongoing evolution. And because like I said, because it's such a young industry, no one really knows what the solution will be, right? And every game will kind of have to have its own unique solution as well, because every game is different. So I think at least I'm pretty confident. And every time we run simulations, Benji, the results are always like even better than I expected they would be. So I'm usually expecting them to be good, but then you show me the results and I'm like, okay, that's actually much better than I expected. So it's I think what we've come up with is quite good because it incentivizes people to buy the token. It also incentivizes people to play and progress within the game to earn more. So you will be rewarded by playing more. You will be, of course, rewarded by minting powerful weapons to level up faster and getting to the end of the game. There's also a little bit of a race to a certain extent of who can get to the end of the game first, because whoever gets there first will be earning a lot more than others for at least until more people get to the end of the game, like we discussed with the pools before. But you'll see that in a lot more detail on the white paper itself. I think it on paper, as it makes a lot of sense. I'm really excited to actually launch the game itself and begin to test these theories and see how they work and start evolving them. Because we most likely won't get it right first time. That's how science is. It's trial and error, right? So we should be able to get there pretty quickly though. And at least our system we've put in place is changeable at any time to a certain extent. It's not like it's fixed in stone tokenomics that can't change, and the economics of the game, we can tweak it to make it work.
Yeah, and also it's like acts as a safety mechanism for the earnings in the game. Like, so if there is like an enemy that's like a balancing issue, like when like an enemy is too easy to kill, or there's people find a glitch that makes a quest easier to finish, it won't have a big impact on the economy of the game. It will just, maybe it will make these quests have no like a less reward for a day or two, and then we'll fix
what
it.
it does is it sort of, instead of breaking the whole earning system, it breaks one small part of it.
Yeah.
And if there's a glitch with one enemy, that would be isolated because of the way the pools work. The glitch would be, and the earning exploit, you could call it, would be isolated to one very specific enemy or one very specific quest, which allows us to change it very quickly before it gets out of control. The most you could ever essentially exploit is a horrible word to use, but if you were to find an exploit in a game, you could only exploit basically one enemy for one day, and it would be such a small percent of the overall earnings of the game that
people wouldn't notice it.
Well, I was gonna say this is pretty common in a lot of the other play to earn games that exist today, where if a particular character in the game has too much energy, often as soon as it's discovered, they'll reevaluate the scoring of that particular item, and it will get re-leveled up. So that's all about making the game economics much more fairer. And some of these things you can't discover in simulation. It has to be real life players. So as they're discovered, they'll be isolated, optimized, and it's very, very common in many play to earn games.
And one thing that we're doing, that the reason this is so important for the type of game that we are creating, is a lot of blockchain games are turn-based. And the reason they're turn-based is because it's much easier to keep everything on chain. When you make an MMORPG, it's impossible to be turn-based. I mean, it's thousands of players all moving around independently, not on a fixed path. We don't know what way they're going. At least with a turn-based game, you kind of know they clicked this button and they're going to do this specific attack this turn. And then you keep track of that, and it's all very easy to basically it's easy to track everything that's happened. With our game, it's not. So designing a completely new system is essential, because there's not really any MMORPGs or there's not really very many non-turn-based games at all, actually, in the play to earn space. The majority of the games that are out there are or at least the earning aspect of the game is turn-based.
There's no non-turn based game in the blockchain space right now.
Yeah, from what I've seen, they're all turn-based. I'm yet to see a non-turn-based one. People can correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a
No,
reason, because it's easy to develop, and developing a non-turn-based game takes significantly longer from the earning perspective of the tokenomics and how to make it non-exploitable, basically, how to make it fun and make the earning work. Because on a non-turn-based game, again, your earnings will be a bit more unstable. You won't just be doing 10 games per day or whatever it is and just getting your fixed earnings. It will be completely dependent on your skill as a player. The better you are, the more you learn. And the more you level up in the game and get towards the higher level quests, and you can defeat more powerful enemies, the more you're going to earn as well. So it's a lot more complex from an earning perspective than a turn-based game. And I think that's why there's no non-turn-based games yet, because it's really hard.
But I think I also love to see how we are actually seeing this technology evolve, because obviously the first era of blockchain gaming and play to earn gaming had to be turn based, to also find ways to minimize transactions on chain. And now, with what we're developing, you're looking at somewhat of a transition, a sync, or who knows what it turns out to be, as to where exactly the perfect blockchain capacities are to operate, and how much on-chain data can eventually be stored in batches. So I'm excited that Legends of Bezogia is coming from the massive MMORPG model, and then using all the current state of blockchain gaming, the experience you get from that, the mistakes that were made by these play to earn games, and actually seeing how both these worlds meet. And that's very interesting. And I think a lot of people, when they see the white paper, the formulas, the publication, and understand exactly why, like you said, it's also a contribution to the entire play to earn system, because the more games that succeed in this category, the value of games, top quality ones, which I believe, like Legends of Bezogia, yes, there are a couple more out there that are developing right now, but these would all gain more value if the industry as a whole goes up. So it's very exciting to see how this plays out and how we get these worlds to meet. I'd also love to
Oh,
get people who read our white paper or other developers actually improve on it, so we could learn, above and beyond. And I think that's one of the best factors of contributing a white paper which is scientific and logical to the space, is because it would give us positive feedback in many ways. Yep. I see a comment here, says, my wife and I have over 120,000 followers. Dad built, he needs some gear. Harry, we should get Dad built some Bezoge gear across.
Yeah, send me a DM, either Twitter, Telegram, Discord, wherever. Just send me a DM and we'll take care of you. And I do have a couple of questions that.
One thing before, Carrie, I was trying to add something on top of what's actually.
Go ahead.
The other thing that is, I think that the system that we've created doesn't just apply to play to earn games. I think it's something that can actually be built into existing like AAA titles to a certain extent, that they could build this into their games and it would just work. At least it allows, at least in my belief, it allows you to create a game that's just a fun game to begin with. And this could be integrated in later into a really fun existing game, and it would just work. At least it should. It might need a bit of balancing, but at least it should work. Because that's what the play to earn industry is missing, I think, is really good games with these sort of integrations. A lot of these games. Someone sent me a really interesting message the other day. Actually, said blockchain gaming companies that care more about blockchain than gaming are not going to be successful. And I think what we're trying to do here is, I mean, if you see the team, we have a team of about 40 people to 50 people in total, of which about 40 of them are just working on the game. I mean, everyone is just working on the game. We don't have that many blockchain developers because actually that's the easy part of the game. To a certain extent, it's making a really fun game and enjoyable with the quests, the storyline, and a world that people can fall in love with. That is actually the hard part. The blockchain technology, although it's quite complex, we have smart people in the company that I know can make it work. And once you read the white paper, you'll see. But it's kind of the easy part. It's the hard part is making a really fun game that people actually want to play. That's that's what we're trying to do. Sorry, on you go, Carrie. That's you.
No, I just remembered because I hadn't been writing things down, but I remembered I wanted to ask Benji if we can get some updated info. I know I've got a lot of my Discord community asking about alpha sessions in like UK, European time zones, and when are we going to get an update of the new map in alpha? Because I know there hasn't been a major update in a few weeks, but we all know that that's to give you guys some more time to work on development. So the community is understanding about that, but I'm just curious when we can expect the next like big update for alpha.
Sure. So we've made a build last night for a streamer build. So this is we'll test it a bit more in the next couple of days, but then we can add this to the alpha. So this is, I think this should be next few days. And also at that time, once we make an update, we'll open maybe in addition to the usual test sessions. If it goes well, we'll at least, like if there is no major issue, we'll open 1 or 2 more sessions for like European time or different, maybe a couple of different time zones for this version.
Perfect. I know the guys will be happy. And responding to Dad Built, I didn't just follow anyone on Twitter. If someone that looks like me or has my name just followed you on Twitter while we've been on the AMA, it wasn't me. So I just wanted to put that out there because I'm all about safety. I will not DM first.
Yeah. I saw that comment, actually. I was going to say Carrie was very quick, but I guess it wasn't you. Okay, so.
No, there's so many people out there that are so quick to being Carrie. She has to tread carefully nowadays.
Yes. There's a lot of imposters in Telegram. And speaking of Telegram, I wanted to bring up Steve's new profile picture. And did you pay for the premium or get that little service in Telegram?
Oh, I didn't think this was going to come up.
Oh, we brought it up. It's been brought up already, actually. Me and Doglord have been wondering.
I'm looking at it now. Yeah, I did.
We just had a discussion yesterday. Like he's probably paid for it because he's got this special icon next to his name as well, besides the profile picture now.
Well, I was actually looking at that because I was researching ways to maybe help verify my account better. And I saw the premium service or whatever that would give like a star or whatever next to my name and some of the perks with it. And then I noticed this past week that you've had that animated profile picture with the little star next to your name too. So I thought it was cool. I like it. So I might have to do that too.
Yeah.
Steve's now getting into his Telegram. He's worried. He's like, let me change.
Yeah, I'm just looking because it's worth it. I just bought it because it was I wanted to have the animated profile picture, so I just paid for the premium.
That's the only reason why you paid for it?
No, well, there's also a whole lot of other stuff like advanced chat management and stuff that I'm using. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Other than that,
I think I'm sold to that.
I wanted to try it out. So I just bought it. I don't even remember how much it was, but it's good. I like my animated profile picture. I'll keep that. It's worth every penny.
Yes, I love it. I'm totally jealous.
There's also a suggestion of getting me a Bezogi outfit, and I can do a slam dunk at a basketball game.
Okay.
I like that comment. Well, let me go find it. I think it was I can't find
Anyway,
it anymore. I saw that.
do we have more questions from the community, Carrie?
I think that's pretty much it. The big thing is everyone's been so anxious about the white paper. And I've been busy working on a lot of little side projects this weekend, and I have not been quite as active in Telegram, but I still read everything. But yeah. Oh, and I just got a message asking if, about alpha different times again, and it being too late for the East Coast guys like Swifty and Rabbit. I know some of our streamers too. They haven't been able to get on lately.
Yeah, I mean, Benji literally just sent me a new streamer build yesterday or this morning, or yesterday, I think it was. Actually, I don't know if he sent me it yet, but he said it's finished. Did you send me it?
Yeah, I sent you the link. Yeah. I think so.
So I think there is a new streamer build. So I think a lot of people like to see Swifty playing. So I think we could distribute that streamer build soon, and people will be able to see.
Yep, there's a lot of people that like watching Swifty and Rabbit, so that will be awesome. Well, I think that's it for me.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone else has to add?
No, nothing from my end.
Oh, guess it's good.
Okay.
If you want, you can give us some live leaks.
No more live leaks. No more live leaks.
It's right there behind you. All you have to do is take the camera out there.
No, I think
just pushing
people
them.
enjoyed the office tour last time, but I think there's people working. I don't want to distract them this week. There's a lot of cool stuff actually on screens. I can see a few things.
He's almost there, ladies and gentlemen.
Show us.
You should have seen Carrie's face. She's like, is he going to do it? Is he not going to do it?
Are you going to go? Come on. Just a quick tease. Let's see what they're working on.
All right, well, let's wrap it up here then. We'll just wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Great AMA. Can't wait for the white paper. So let's go. And let's keep going.
Let's go.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining. We will see you in 2 weeks. I think next week there'll be another stream with Samuel, I believe, Carrie. I think he's back from his holiday. So
okay. Yeah, I haven't heard from him.
Stream next week.
But we'll post it once I get with him and get an official date and time, because he was doing them on Mondays, but had to do a Friday as a special before he went on vacation. So yeah, we'll post it on announcements once I get the info.
Okay. So thank you everyone for joining. Please make sure you give a thumbs up, share the AMA as much as possible after we're offline, even the video recording of it. And that's it. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks everyone.
See you guys.
Thank you, everyone.
So, yes, thank you.